Hey everybody, welcome to Dad's Den of Pop Culture. It is Alpha Flight Monday, and we have reached December of 1986 and Alpha Flight number 41, an issue that introduces a new character who will become a part of the book moving forward. In a story entitled, It's Not Easy Being Purple, by Bill Mantlo, writer, David Ross, penciler, Whilce Portacio as inker, it's the role he's playing, Jim Novak, letterer, Bob Sharon, colorer, Carl Potts, editor, Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief. Okay, I got to get close in. Etobicoke. Well, that's a tricky one. You know, your eyes focus in on all those letters and they don't make any sense at first. A suburb of Toronto, 3 o'clock in the morning, far too late for a 13-year-old who has school tomorrow to have stayed out. But then in her condition, she was afraid to come home. So I assume we're going to find out what that's all about in just a little bit. Is exhaustion all it takes to undo the glue that holds Alpha together? Listen, Marina's marriage to the Submariner has cost us an original member of Alpha. I'd like to propose a replacement. Mr. Jeffries. Huh? I'm honored, Mrs. Hudson. But are you sure? I mean, I ain't much more than a tinkerer. You're a transmutator, Madison. You can make metal and machinery do your bidding. You've used your power to aid Alpha time and again. Hey, you made my box armor. And you've got to help get me out of it so I can touch Aurora without giving her goosebumps again. Now, I know that's a pretty selfish reason for seconding your nomination. So how about if I say I'm also doing it because you're my friend? I hope I'll always be, Boxy. So this is the aftermath of the fight against Atlantis. They team up with the Avengers, and it ends with Submariner and Marina being married and sort of starting their own little kingdom. And so Marina is now officially no longer part of Alpha Flight. Now, she hasn't been with the team for a really long time, but Jeffries has been working with them for a while, so Heather wants to bring him in as a full member. And so they're having this discussion. She opens the floor. Shaman, or really Talisman now, no longer has his emotions, so he doesn't really care. And now Elizabeth is there, who was Talisman. She's now lost those powers, and she's thinking about her father. The same power that almost led me to doom Alpha is destroying Dad. By assuming it, he saved Elizabeth Two Youngman's humanity at the cost of his own. So Aurora votes yes, and she wants to design his costume. And Northstar says, something impossibly form-fitting, no doubt. Since when do you object to having attractively dressed men about, my brother? Little hint there, because that's something the rest of Alpha Flight doesn't know. And I wasn't sure that Aurora knew about it. Now, I don't think she does in her other personality. Aurora, Northstar, knock it off. All those in favor of inducting Madison Jeffries into Alpha Flight say aye, and it's unanimous except for Shaman, who's abstained. Why? What's becoming the Talisman done to him anyway? So, you know, he thanks everybody, and yay, he's joined the team. And so now Northstar is going to take a leave of absence. I was an internationally acclaimed ski champion before I joined the flight. I have been invited to resume that career, and thus be spared the pain of witnessing you, my sister, lust after a legless cripple, should he ever be restored to manhood again. So, last issue, we saw Northstar maybe changing his ways a little bit, but old habits die hard, and so we get a rather unkind thing right there. He's still a bit of a jerk. Hey, I guess he at least kept it on the inside and didn't say it out loud. That's maybe that's an improvement for the guy. Return to skiing? You're joking, Jean-Paul. You know your powers of speed and flight prevent you from competing fairly. Yeah, like he cares. You would imply that I could ever use my powers to cheat Aurora? You? Not that it is any of your business, but I will ski in exhibition meets only. Although why I should hesitate to employ my God-given gifts, as every athlete does, to win, I do not know. Because with gifts such as yours come certain responsibilities, Northstar. She heard that from a guy named Ben, who lived down in New York. Yes, first and foremost, to myself. So, okay, he's still kind of a selfish jerk. He made a little bit of a little character development last issue, though. So back to that really difficult suburb of Toronto to say, or no, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. She's not. Well, I guess she's not. Yeah. A week later, at the world famous Banff Springs Hotel. You know, the first thing reading that, my brain went to the sound effect of Nightcrawler. I had to say, oh yeah, well, no, that's a town in Canada. Okay. So this girl has left home and she's gone to this hotel and she's made herself over to be a little bit more punk and Madonna, eat your heart out. But anyway, she figures if I look like a punk, people won't wonder why I'm purple. I'm not sure that's true, but she's 13. So we kind of have like a little bit of a rogue situation here of her, having to head out on her own. So, but she says, I'm not going to let being purple spoil my fun. Not after I stole Mom's credit card so I could afford to run away. Not too hard to track. Outside her chalet, the slopes beckon to the strange purple-hued young lady. And they're having an exhibition here. Gee, I wonder who's at it. At the gate, Jean-Paul Beaubier. He's the reason I came to this meet. Me too. He hasn't skied in years. Why'd he ever retire? And so we actually get to see Northstar skiing, which is what Jean-Paul is famous for, and he hasn't been able to do it for a while. That's kind of cool. Cool outfit. So we see him. He's thinking about his past, and he was an orphan, driven to prove himself, became a champion skier before the age of 13. Then at puberty, my super speed miraculously manifested itself. I was unbeatable. I didn't ask for my powers, didn't want them. In skiing, striving was everything. Suddenly, winning came effortlessly. The challenge was gone. Angry, embittered, I forswore the sport I loved and enrolled in college, there to become embroiled in the radical politics of the Quebec nationalist movement. Under the influence of Raymond Saint-Jacques, a friend, a father, and more, to me, it was a short step from radicalism to terrorism. I was rescued from my folly by James MacDonald Hudson of Department H, who informed me I was not a freak, but a mutant, and further that I had a twin sister from whom I'd been separated by adoption, Aurora. Together we joined Hudson's newly formed Alpha Flight. So there's nice, quick introduction to the character, which they like to do every so often for all the folks who are new to the comic. Now, there is one question I have. And I guess it's because of his ability to fly, but the super speed on skis, usually super speed's kind of a running thing. There, I don't know why you'd have super speed, but I guess maybe it has to do with his ability to fly, that he's skiing, but maybe he's really flying down the slope. Interesting. Look, they're mutant powers. They all work differently, and they kind of do what everybody wants them to do in comic books. So we see him doing this flip. How I envy the young and human. So he finishes. Everybody's applauding. People want his autograph, as would happen because he's this handsome champion skier in a country where winter sports are a really, really big deal. And so in the crowd is this girl with the purple skin. I've had a crush on Jean-Paul Beaubier for years. I knew from TV that this is where he'd be this weekend. What did I hope would happen? That he'd fall madly in love with me, sweep me off my feet, and ski away with me? What a jerk. Even if a champion like him had the time of day for a teenager, my being purpled make him puke. Face it, Kara, you are seriously weird, and there's no way you can escape that fact by fleeing into some kind of fantasy. Excuse me, are you going to be long in there? What if I am? Why, I need to go. You need to go jump off a cliff. Now look at that. Did the colorist mess up? Why, that girl's turned pupil? Turned purple. Wow. Oh. And she heads off to go jump off a cliff. And so, she's like, I don't need an audience to see me cry. So she's going through some hard times. And now we kind of get a little picture of her meeting my dad in a bar in Buffalo 14 years ago. Greetings, ladies. May I join you? Look at his skin, Melanie. What a creep. Tell him to get lost. Well, we were waiting for our dates, and my name is Zebediah Kilgrave, and you wish to marry me. An hour later, before a justice of the peace, he's talking about this is her mom, obviously. Do you, Melanie, take this man Kilgrave to be your lawfully wedded husband? So basically, he's controlling everybody there, controlling the minister, controlling her. And so this is the Purple Man. And the Purple Man's power, obviously, is he can command people to do things, to kind of take over their minds, push suggestions on them. An American criminal who, along with purple skin, gained the strange power to make people do his will. So on a whim, he made her marry him. And, she realizes what happened, and she hates him. And he could have stopped her, but he did not stop her from leaving. Okay, we'll give him that at least. It's not much. He let her go, and she went to Toronto, and he went to prison before he could do anything else about it. And at some point later, she gave birth to Kara, and she was very happy that she was not purple. And so, of course, mutations don't come out until puberty, generally speaking, and that's why. So back out on the slopes, this woman suddenly jumps off of this cliff. Can nobody save her, or nobody can possibly save her? Wrong. Poof, there goes Northstar right in front of everybody. Tell me, mademoiselle, why do you choose such a lovely day to die? I don't know what came over me. She seems genuinely not to know why she attempted suicide. Could her confusion have something to do with the strange purple pallor slowly fading from her skin? All I can remember is needing to use the bathroom, and then a voice telling me to go jump off a cliff. And in the crowd, Kara hears that and goes, oh, just like Daddy. So it's a bit of a shock to her, which I think if the skin turned purple, she would have figured out maybe that she had that power. But I guess maybe that's the first time it's ever actually happened. But the other big shock for this crowd is that Jean-Paul Beaubier has revealed his identity as Northstar, and they label him a cheater. I made no use of my powers during the ski exhibition earlier. Bull, I wondered how you could suddenly reappear from retirement and outshine me, who's been training steadily for years. Perhaps I am the better athlete, or maybe you poured on a little of the old super speed in the tight spots, huh? In order to beat my time down the slope? I do not know. Perhaps unintentionally I did allow my powers to give me an edge. It was from fear of that ever happening that I forswore the sport I loved more than life itself. And it is for that reason that you need not fear, for I shall never ski again. Awed by the enormity of what they have learned, the crowd parts. And only one spectator remains, and that, of course, is the purple girl. What is it you want? The autograph of a freak? Mon Dieu, your flesh. That's why I wanted to talk to you. I know how you feel. So we are, in a way, kind of getting like that moment, well, like from the X-Men movie with Wolverine and Rogue, meeting, and two mutants kind of finding each other, and him finding somebody who he could kind of take care of. And she admits that she made that woman jump off the cliff accidentally. Can I not even be alone in my anguish without attracting the lunatic fringe? Well, he's probably more of a jerk than Wolverine is, to be honest. You think I'm crazy? I'll prove I've got the power. Follow me. I will follow. It worked. Northstar is obeying me. But why'd he turn purple too? I don't remember Mom saying that Dad's powers had that effect. Who cares, purple or not, Jean-Paul Beaubier, on whom I've had a crush for, centuries, is mine. Question is, what do I do with him? Something romantic. Be my boyfriend. No response. Maybe my orders have to be more specific. I know. Bring me flowers. Here are flowers. From a vase in my room? That's not very imaginative. So she's in dangerous ground here, controlling minds, but, you got to figure, the real world, if people could have such powers, there would be some things like this happening, especially with younger people having to learn how to control them, which is why Professor X started the X-Men, so he could train people how to use their powers responsibly. So she wants something more exotic, and Northstar picks her up, flies off to find more exotic flowers. So he's completely under her control, and he takes her to, what is it, like Tahiti or something? It looks like it's in the, South Pacific, and gives her these beautiful flowers, these orchids. This place is super, like the Garden of Eden. You want to play Adam and Eve? I will do as you bid me. Whoa, now it's getting definitely into a bad place. As for him, especially, he's being controlled here. And she's 13, so, But look, again, kids are going to do things that kids really probably shouldn't do. So they're going to go swimming at this point. It's not like too scandalous. And he's obviously got briefs on, and she's still got her clothing on. So, okay, we're not going into a completely bad place here. But it looks like there's something slinking up behind her. Well, wherever they are. So maybe it's more like South America. There's, an alligator, crocodile, caiman, one of those kind of animals. And suddenly he comes to under the water. This isn't Alberta. Where in blazes am I? And whose voice do I hear screaming? And he sees her being chased by this alligator. Northstar, at the sound of the purple girl's voice, her control reasserts itself. And Northstar freezes, his skin taking on a purple hue as he awaits further orders. Why don't you do something? What are you waiting for? Oh my gosh, of course, you're waiting for orders from me. Save me now. Please. Faster than the eye can follow, Northstar encircles the hungry crocodile and, weaving a waterspout about it, whirls it away. Then through the waterfall, he comes looking for the purple girl. It seems that so long as I stay submerged, you cannot manipulate my mind. Gosh, really? I didn't realize. It's all right. I promise not to do it again. Silence. I want to know only who you are, what you are, and why you have used me. I'm Kara Kilgrave, the purple girl, and I guess I did what I did because I love you. Love? Even were it conceivable that I might return your affections, one does not use those one loves. Tell me about it. That's how I got my start, and it stunk. I didn't mean to use you, but I just got these powers, and it sort of happened by accident. And so Kara tells her story. So he fills her in, and, she feels like a freak, and she's sorry, and etc. Again, we're dealing with like a 13-year-old kid. That's going to be pretty rough. You are no more and no less a freak than I. There are others in the world like us who would understand your powers, train you in their use. Mantlo, I am saying to you the very same words James MacDonald Hudson said to me, but in joining his Alpha Flight, I accepted outcast status. I went to live as a freak among freaks, instead of asserting my equal right to live in the human world. Better that I should leave you here to die rather than force you to choose as I chose. Leave me? You can't. Stop. Oh no, I've done it again. He was only speaking figuratively, and I got so freaked. This is terrible. Even if I tell him to go soak his head and free him from my power, he'll probably be so peeved he will leave me. But I promised him, and he trusted me. I don't have any choice. I've got to give him one more order. Northstar, take me to Alpha Flight. And so the purple girl is introduced. So one of the early elements of Alpha Flight, and we see it more in flashback, is that there was Alpha Flight, there was Beta Flight, there was Gamma Flight. A Beta Flight were heroes in training who weren't quite ready for the main team, but were relatively close. Gamma Flight was brand new recruits. So we've got Alpha Flight sort of reformed. Now it looks like we're reforming Gamma Flight. And Kara Kilgrave, the purple girl, is going to be the first member of it. Not a bad idea in terms of the comic book. It introduces some younger people, which creates story opportunities. And it also creates opportunities for the team to grow and to be more of a family, which Alpha Flight struggles with that family dynamic a little bit. It's not quite as good at it as, say, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, or even the New Mutants. But so interesting move, smart move. I remember the Purple Girl from back in the day. I had a lot of those comics she was in, and I always thought she was pretty cool. So it'll be interesting seeing that character take shape. So, folks, Alpha Flight number 41, December of 1986. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think about Purple Girl? And I'll tell you what, this one, it takes it a little bit to the edge of appropriate behavior. Not in an exploitive way, but in, a realistic way. And I think that's, pretty good storytelling. But let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Maybe think of subscribing. Maybe share with a friend you think would enjoy it. We've been doing Alpha Flight Monday since January 1st this year. We're going to do it until the end of December. And you can find, at the end here, we'll have a little thing pop up with the Alpha Flight retrospective, so you can find other videos in this series. Next year, 2025, we're going to be switching to Justice League International. So, again, I'd love to hear in the comments what you think. And until next time, God bless everybody. Please be kind to one another. Have a little bit of fun. And I'll see you again soon. I hope in Dad's Den of pop culture. Bye-bye.